We are doing HCA 200 today, and we are going to be watching a video to get an idea of what exactly an HCA does. Please do take notes because we will be testing you at the end. So yeah, make sure you know your stuff.
Okay, sounds good.
I can't believe my client. I'm supposed to help her take care of her kids, but I'm doing all the work while she just sips on her coffee and watches TV.
I feel your pain. I'm responsible for them when you're off duty. What a handful.
I just wish she would do something. Anything.
Talk about bad timing. Can you tell me what's wrong with this scenario? You're right. It's an ethical dilemma. Although Suki feels frustrated with his clients, he is breaching confidentiality by talking about it with his coworker. Let's take a closer look at how Suki is doing. So, Suki, how are you holding up?
Terrible. As an HCA, healthcare assistant, I have the right to be free from harassment, right to be free from emotional or mental abuse, right to register a complaint about a client without a risk to my employment. But none of these are being fulfilled when I work with Sylvia.
Allow me to explain. Suki is frustrated because his rights and responsibilities as an HCA are not being respected. Instead of bringing up his problem to his supervisor, he decides to vent out his frustration to his colleague. Now, let's see how Sylvia is doing. How are you doing, Sylvia?
Well, I'm okay. Is this about that HCA Suki? Is there a problem? I have the right to freedom of expression. I have the right to care plan transparency. And I have the right to be dealt with respect and consideration. Those are my rights. And I hope he understands that.
You know, Sylvia is right. As a resident of Canada, she has the rights to all these things. Now, let's take a look at some situations that could have happened instead of this one.
Instead of going straight to my colleague to let them know about my frustration, I could have addressed the situation by speaking to Sylvia. I could have asked her if she would be able to speak to her kids to get them to settle so that I can provide care. I could have asked if she has any tips for communication with her kids. I could have asked her if there's anything that has been bothering her as of late. Or I could have asked her about any favorite activities that she likes to do as a family. This would have allowed me to strengthen our relationship and promote Sylvia's engagement with her kids.
Great, Suki. I'm glad you learned something. Everybody, round of applause. Now, when you're in a situation like this in the future, you have a bit of an idea of what to do. Here are some other solutions. Number one, being the most obvious, bring up the situation to the supervisor so that you could grab some insight on what to do in this situation. Number two, talk to the client to understand more about their situation so maybe you could learn something new. Number three, accept the situation and shoulder the work. And number four, try to talk to Sylvia to make sure she understands that their kids would like to engage more with their mother. Okay, Ron, that is the end of the video. Now, let's quiz you on something. What are the 4 principles of health? Please tell me.
The 4 basic principles of health are autonomy, justice, beneficence, and non-maleficence. Autonomy. We respect Sylvia's decision not to engage in care while we are present. Justice. Although the team and myself included are frustrated, we're going to be fair to Sylvia and the kids. Beneficence. We will use the steps to good communication to promote goodness that will eventually be beneficial to the connection between Sylvia and her kids. Non-maleficence. We do not intend any harm to Sylvia. By bringing the matter straight to the supervisor, we will increase the chances of the care team being professional and less frustrated.
Perfect. What a good student. And Ron, to conclude class HCA 200, please tell me what you learned in this course.
I learned about my own rights and responsibilities as a healthcare worker, as well as the clients. I also learned that having good communication is essential to being a successful healthcare worker. I also learned that there are 4 basic principles of health. Thanks, Teach.